has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, Carver High, hour number 3. We go back to what we never finished, and I think we need to. Pedro Martinez blaming Major League Baseball and the Padres, in essence, for Fernando Tatis Jr. failing his basically PED steroid test and banned for 80 games. His father blames Major League Baseball and the Padres and basically declared that baseball was ruined. It's a catastrophe that no one will watch baseball anymore now that his son has been thrown out of the league for using. And it's laughable to me. And then I get to hear this Pedro Martinez, who I don't deny was brilliant in his career. There's nothing I'll ever say about that guy pitching. He was utterly unhittable. He was amazing. He was just stifling. He was so good. But I hated his guts, because he was always on the Red Sox and teams that every time I turned around, I had to deal with this guy, Pedro Martinez, right? It drove me nuts. So now he's talking out of the side of his mouth about this Tatis. It is unbelievable. Like, what world are these two living in where they blame everyone but the kid that did it?
Yeah, we played the clip earlier of him kind of blaming the Padres. This was the second clip that I had for you. This really is more of what I think he was trying to get at, which is the whole system itself of the young players that come out of the Dominican Republic are not taught things at a young age. So it took Pedro a while to get there, but here he is blaming Major League Baseball, Scotty, on TBS last night.
Major League Baseball should have taken 1% of what they do, and they have all 30 academies in the Dominican Republic. And they don't do enough to educate those kids about medications, trainers, what they need to do, who they run to. We have a Players Alliance here, and you can explain a little bit later what the Players Alliance does for most of the players here in the United States. But we don't have that in the Dominican. We don't have any ambassador in the Dominican Republic telling those players what to do unless you do it willingly, like I sometimes do. Go out of my way to go teach those kids and tell them what not to do. But Major League Baseball doesn't do enough to go and educate those kids before they get to the States, before they get to the medications, before they get to the trainers. And that's where I'm a little bit bothered by. Okay. And Fernando Tatis has no excuses because he knew better.
Okay, so then all of that other rhetoric doesn't matter. If he knew better, that's who we're talking about here. Not all the kids that are coming up through the system in the academies down in the DR. Fair enough, if there's a problem where they're not being educated in those academies, because essentially those are baseball farms. Those aren't colleges. We're not down there studying and going to class. And if they say they are, they're full of shack. It's about, playing baseball every day, all day, 6 ways till Sunday, and nothing more. Getting to the show, that's what those academies are for, not to get a higher education. Please, stop. It's ridiculous listening to it. Fair enough, they're uneducated. Fair enough, they deserve better. Fair enough, fine. But that's not the issue here, Mike. No, that is not the issue here. It's about Tatis Jr., and it also sounds like a lot of people making a lot of excuses for him over the last couple of days, which just is not necessary whatsoever. We welcome in all of our radio affiliates, Ferrall Coast to Coast on a Wednesday. Sirius XM 159, Sports Map, Sports Byline. Good to have you aboard. Let's blow through some of this stuff from last night. Red Sox beat the Pirates. They scored 4 runs in the first inning. Game was over. Forget about the game. Eckersley, Scotty, on Nesson decided to take like 3.5 minutes and completely rip the Pirate organization. Called them a hodgepodge of nothingness, and that it was killing them for having the lowest payroll in the league. Eckersley going out the door, bashing the Pirates. The Buccos on the way, Scotty. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what's the point? It's too easy, right? Like, what kind of like nugget is that? Like everyone already knows they're terrible. Everybody already knows they don't have the payroll. Everyone already knows they're literally there for the existence of giving the Yankees players and other teams. All their best players go and they end up, look at Bell. He's now playing with the Padres with Juan Soto. The Pirates are a systematic failure, but not in producing players for other teams. So what is the point of bashing a team that's that low? I've always said this. I was on MLB Network one day. Do you remember when I did that show and I said, I think it's fantastic that the Kansas City Royals are in the World Series. And I argued with this Joel Sherman guy till the cows came home. He's like, it's a joke of a World Series. No one's going to watch. I'm like, who cares who watches? Some team with no payrolls in the World Series. That was the issue. And I'm sick of arguing with people about all the haves and have-nots. Because I'll tell you what, there's about 4 halves, and the rest of the league are basically have-nots, just like the Pirates. None of these other teams, the Twins, none of them ever go to the World Series. Shut up. Shut up, Eckersley. Go away. Go retire. You mattered when you played. No one wants to listen to you anymore anyway. That entire booth up there is either dead or leaving. And you know it's true. The rest of them are dead or leaving. Shut up. No one's afraid of you anymore, old man. Shut up. Shut your face. Get a haircut.
We will get into
Beat
tonight's
your ass.
game when we come back.
Dennis Eckersley, what a femme.
Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
People are going to the betting window
Betting
and
above
betting them
the
now
rim.
before the trade takes place.
How dare
Diamond
they
bets.
do what's fiscally responsible? See how it plays out. Buffalo's going all in right
Football
now. They
full
need
circle.
all their chips in the middle of the table. It's do or die for them.
And Godwin being out, they've had a little bit of a shakeup.
In-game live all
You
access.
could take the points, you could take the money line, and
We have to go to San Jose too. Maybe a small play on San Jose. I'm gonna go both underdogs here. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Wow. In-game
Phillies here
live.
over
Prime
minus
time.
128. You do have to lay up a little bit of wood here, Donnie, but I think against Patrick Corbin.
But boy, you want to give me 8.5 points with a desperate team facing
Get
elimination.
the winning edge. Only on Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
And if we just take a look at the rushing numbers, right, 1,100 yards is the benchmark for us. Well, last year as a rookie, Kevin, we just talked about Dalvin Cook. He can never stay healthy. How about a rookie playing all 17 weeks last year with Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers? How about him getting 307 rushing attempts as a rookie? I thought we were led to believe also the Pittsburgh Steelers were, yeah, we're about winning games, but we don't just hand things over to guys that get drafted and are drafted
Only
high.
on Sports Grid. Fantasy Sports Today.
Ezekiel Elliott declines even more and loses, let's say, 15% of the touchdowns and of the yards. He's being drafted way too high in fantasy this year.
I mean, the people, I guess Ezekiel Elliott's supporters will point out, well, before he suffered the injury last year, sprained, I want to say his MCL, but I'm not, don't remember specifically, but it was a knee injury. Before the injury, yes, he was good, but it was 4 games into the season.
The Sports Grid Network. Ferrall, coast to coast.
Tell me why you're so high on Herbert and the Chargers. They never get it done.
Number one is injuries. This team seems to be snake bit. If that goes their way this year, the only thing that's going to prevent them is coaching. The coaching and the offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, he has a strong-armed, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league in Justin Herbert, who is young and can throw the ball all over the field. And they have one of the shortest target depths of any team in the NFL.
The Sports Grid Network.
How about the fisherman last night, Carver High? Your boy Charlie Morton getting involved.
Certainly did. Braves beat the Mets 5-0. Morton pitched into the 7th, 3 hits, no runs, 12 strikeouts. For the offense, this one has not landed yet. In fact, if it did land, it hit somebody's steak up in the chop house. Matt Olson going deep on Bally Sports South.
Swing drive. Majestic homer. How far? How high? On top of the chop house.
That was a Dave Kingman type home run. That thing went so high off his bat.
That was no joke, that one by Olson last night, that's for sure. Braves give Michael Harris an 8-year, $72 million extension. Braves have done a nice job of locking up a lot of their young players. They will be a problem for a long time. They had Soroka also last night. He struck out 8 of the first 9 batters he faced in that rehab start, Scotty. First time he pitched in 2 years. Mets called up one of their big prospects, third baseman Brett Beatty. He will start tonight for the Mets. He is in the lineup. Cardinals beat the Rockies 5-4. They had the walk-off hit by pitch in that game, which is always fun. Only the Rockies could figure that out. The Rangers today, Scotty, fired general manager and president John Daniels. This is, of course, less than 48 hours after they fired the manager, Chris Woodward. So full-scale changes in Texas. Nothing like firing the general manager and president, Scotty, 7 months after he gave 2 middle infielders $500+ million in Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. Always good to fire the GM after he spent that much money.
I think, the owner is writing those checks, not John. And the owner said, I'm paying all this money and there are no results and I'll see all of you later. And he fired everybody. I kind of like the power play by the owner.
We've had a lot of guys this year hit their first big league home run in their debut, Scotty. How about the A's last night calling up their top prospect, Shea Langeliers, who was the MVP of the Futures game? All he needed was one pitch to get his first major league hit. A double for the kid on NBC Sports California.
So here is Shea Langeliers' first pitch, and he rips one toward the left field corner, and it is a fair ball. Langeliers is going to have to hustle. I think he thought maybe it bounced into the seats, or I'm not sure. He slowed down, rounding first, and then realized he had to hustle up. He ends up with a double on the first big league pitch he sees.
It is amazing to me, Carver High, how many guys we've played over the last 3 or 4 weeks that are coming up into the show, and in their first game, first at bat, we've hit home runs, doubles, gap shots. Every guy that has come up that you've played has come up big with the stick.
Well, maybe tomorrow on Coast to Coast we'll be playing a big hit from Oswaldo Cabrera for the Yankees tonight. Or Beatty. Hopefully Cabrera for the Yanks starting at third base. A's also released Elvis Andrus. He was upset at how much he wasn't playing, so the A's said, go home. We don't really need you here, so take a walk. They shut down our boy Paul Blackburn for the rest of the season. He's got a finger issue. He's done. Giants beat the Diamondbacks 2-1 last night.
Why doesn't Eckersley talk about that team he used to play for? He rips the Pirates. Why doesn't he take a few shots at the A's for the way they have literally sold off every single player in the franchise?
Very true. X got to be fair there. His team has been just as bad. The Giants got a walk-off from Brandon Crawford last night in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2-1, they beat the Diamondbacks. All right, let's go. Tonight, Scotty, we do it again in Pittsburgh. The Red Sox and the Buccos at PNC tonight. We'll see what Eck has to say in this one. We have Rich Hill going for the Sox. Contreras is going for the Buccos tonight. Scotty, minus 160 for the Red Sox. Buccos plus 135. Total of 8.5.
This will be the next Pirate that goes to a great team and ends up having a great career is Contreras. And I think he's tough. I think he beats Hill tonight. I'm going to take the Pirates and the over. And I think they get him tonight with every facet of the game. I think they're going to splash into the river. I think they're going to do everything. Steal bases, score runs left and right. You know why? Because they're going to all give Dennis Eckersley moons and fingers.
Rays looking for the sweep in the Bronx against the Yankees. We've mentioned that they've got some youth in the lineup tonight. Corey Kluber against Domingo Germán is the matchup. Yankees minus 130, Rays plus 105, total of 8.5.
Well, I mean, on FerrallOnTheBench.com, I took the Yankees, and I got to tell you, I regret it. I really do. I'm not going to flip, but I have no faith whatsoever in them getting out of this funk tonight with Domingo Germán on the mound. And even though he's taken on Kluber, who I think is trash. When he was with the Yankees, he was awful, and now he's still trash. He's somebody else's trash. But I won't be surprised at all they finish off the sweep of the Yankees tonight. I don't want anything to do with this game. I picked the Yankees, and I'm sure I'll probably get bit.
The Guards and the Tigers in Cleveland tonight. My pal Cal Quantrill is on the hill for the Guards. Norris is going for the Tigers. Guardians right now minus 225. Tigers plus 180, 7.5 the total.
Your boy Chuck Norris couldn't win a game if the other team didn't show up for the game. I'm all over Cleveland, and I'm all over the over. They're going to light up your boy Chuck.
The Mets are road favorites down in Atlanta tonight, looking to get off the deck after losing the first two. Max Scherzer is the reason why, minus 145. Jake Odorizzi goes for the Braves, plus $120, 7.5 is the total.
Please. I'm on Scherzer here tonight. He's my number one play. He's still brilliant. I can't even believe he got beat the last time out. I'm going to go with him tonight, and I'm going to stay under. Odorizzi isn't that bad either. I think this is going to be a great game again, and the Mets need this one.
Speaking of sparkling, Jordan Montgomery has been sparkling for the St. Louis Cardinals so far. He gets the ball against the Rockies tonight. Germán Marquez goes for them. Minus 200 for the Redbirds, plus 170 for the Rockies. Total of flat 7.
I'm on the over. Marquez give up 6 runs himself every time he pitches. And I think Montgomery will do his normal thing, give up 3 runs. I like the Cards and Montgomery to get it done in the over.
The law firm of Reagans and Aller tonight in Arlington. The A's and the Rangers. Minus 165 for Texas, plus $140 for Oakland. Big total in this one, 9 with these guys on the mound.
Yeah, I'm on Texas and Ronald Reagan's here.
Ronald Reagan's your boy. Next, we have the Astros and the White Sox in Chicago tonight. Framber Valdez and Mike Kopech are the starters. Astros road favorites now minus 145, plus $120 for the Sox. Flat 8 total.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Astros and Valdez in the under. I am worried, though, the way the White Sox have played the Astros in this series.
The Dodgers have Tony Gonsolin tonight against Lauer for the Brewers. Dodgers road favorites, minus 165, plus 140 for the Brew Crew. Flat 8 total.
I'm on the under. I think Lauer is tough as hell, and I already know Gonsolin's 14-1 with a 2.2 ERA. Look, this is going to be a great game. Lauer can really pitch. I love the under, and I'm going to go high-risk Dodgers here on the streets. The Brewers have played them tough.
And finally, only one game on the left coast late night for you tonight, Scotty. In San Francisco, the Diamondbacks and the Giants, Zach Davies and Carlos Rodon. Giants minus 225, heavy lumber, plus 180 for the Diamondbacks, 7.5 is the total.
Yeah, look, Davies, I don't think beats Rodon. I'm on the Giants and the under here tonight at Oracle.
There you go. Tonight in Major League Baseball, let's cash a lot of tickets. We will come back. A lot of NFL to get to, Scotty, as preseason week 2 starts tomorrow night. The Bears and the Seahawks. Get excited.
Thank God.
If you want to pick like a pro, you need to be in the know. The future of sports gaming is now, and we take you inside the lines, breaking down all the action and what it means for your bet slip. Turn down the game and tune into Sports Grid Radio. Other networks talk sports talk, but we walk the walk, right up to the window. Sports Grid Radio. Listen free on the Sports Grid Radio app, iHeart, or TuneIn, or catch us on Sirius XM Sports Grid Channel 159.
Maurice Allen, 2015-2016 European Long Drive Tour champion, 2017 world number 1. Me personally, I keep my game face on me all the time. Especially coming out of the bunker, leaving the range, or even leaving the course. What's your story?
Ferrall, coast to coast.
The reality is that what I'm hearing is Flacco's going to play that game against the Ravens in week 1. And I'm just going to put, salt on this. Flacco's better than Zach Wilson anyway. I mean, he's better flat out anyway. All things being equal, he's head and shoulders better than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson sucks. And until
The Sports Grid Network. The morning after.
Well, the Niners have a better overall year than those two other teams, being the Jags and the Jets.
You know, what's funny is I think you'd get a lot of people, though you make a good point about where the number would sit. I think you'd get a lot of people to bet the Niners. I'm high on the Niners. I still would take the combination. I'm low on the Jets. I know I'm probably walking into a real bad trap here, and I'm going to live with it. I am very optimistic about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Sports Grid Network. The early line.
Can Cease become the favorite in this market by the result of this baseball game?
I don't think so, because we have to remind ourselves, this isn't, Dylan Cease pitching to Justin Verlander, and that's the head-to-head matchup, and who wins it gets the title belts, right? I mean, that's not the way it works here. You actually are taking a look at this game saying, how is Verlander going to do up against that Chicago White Sox lineup? How is Cease going to do against that Astros lineup?
Only on Sports Grid. Diamond Bets.
Fernando Tatis Jr. getting popped for a PED suspension for 80 games. Now, I know performance-enhancing drugs are something that, even here at the network, they encourage us, especially myself. They say, please, can you enhance your performance just a little bit more, Joe? This year, it's not going to happen next year for a good chunk of the season. And guess what? This is more important now that you added Juan Soto. So obviously this news rocked Major League Baseball.
Only on Sports Grid.
Listen, if you don't have the BetMGM app, then you're not in on all this money you can make. If you bet $10 on any baseball game in the show, $10 on any MLB game, you win $200 if either team hits a home run. Use the bonus code MLBHR2022. You heard me. Bet $10 on the BetMGM app on a baseball game in the majors, $200 if either team hits a home run. Use the bonus code MLBHR2022. All right, Carver High, time to talk a little pain day.
Yes, pain day time, Scotty, and it seems like maybe we are getting close to the end of the Deshaun Watson stuff. Now, there was a report today that a ruling could come at any time, any hour, today or tomorrow possibly, and that settlement negotiations between the NFL and the Players Association are very active. So hopefully, Scotty, within the next day or two, we can actually get some clarity into exactly how many games this guy's going to miss this year because, frankly, the expedited process, the expedited appeal has been going on a lot longer than the word expedited actually means. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, obviously, he's going to get more games. Do you think, and I was talking to somebody about it today, do you think it's 12? Do you think it's the entire season, all 17, and a huge multi-million-dollar fine? what's your final verdict? What do you think this guy comes back with as opposed to Robinson's 6?
I still believe that Roger Goodell in the NFL would look silly if it's not at least a year that they come in with. I do. Now, as much as he appointed this guy knows very much what Roger wants. And I think that he did the whole apology that wasn't very sincere that we played the other day. I think he did all that in hopes of getting a settlement and getting it to 10 or 12 games. I still believe he misses the whole year. That's what I still
Do you think that Harvey is in the NFL's pockets?
Yes, 100%. I think he absolutely is, and he's going to put him down for a year. That's what I think.
Well, there you go.
I just want it to end at this point, right? Like we just talk about it like every day. When's it going to end? When's we going to? And if I'm the Browns, now look, the Browns, I don't feel bad for them because they know what they were getting into this season by trading for this guy and giving him that whole deal. They knew that this was part of the package, but you're getting into the second preseason game. It's almost time for real pain day, and they got to know how many games that other Joker Brissett's going to play. Because if not, as we talked about last week, there's that other option on the table of Jimmy G, and they need to know if they need to look at that option or not. So things got to move here for them.
Literally, look how far we've come since Ray Rice. I mean, it's still a problem in the NFL, and no one can shake that. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. It just rears its ugly head, in my view. And not only that, it's every league. It's NBA, MLB. They got more problems than just, domestic violence issues and sexual assault issues. They got drug issues across all these leagues, and it really is crazy if you think about where we were when Ray Rice was swinging away at the elevator in the hotel.
No question. So hopefully we will get some clarity on Watson in the next day or so. Let's go to the Packers now, Scotty, because for the first time yesterday, it seems like Aaron Rodgers finally came to the realization he don't got Davante Adams anymore. He's got a lot of young wide receivers who have not done anything in this league yet, and Aaron clearly frustrated by the inconsistency of some of said wide receivers. Here he is.
I didn't think we ran the ball very well, especially outside zone. Thought we threw it pretty good. Had some opportunities, a lot of mental errors, a lot of pre-snap penalties. So kind of in the theme of camp, simple plays, we're messing up. So it's good to do it against another team. I like the energy from the first unit, but a lot of mental mistakes.
Aaron, at what point does that become a concern that it might carry over to the start?
I mean, it's good. It's good we do it in practice. So it's unfortunately some of the same guys. That's repeat mistakes are a problem. So we just got to clean those things up a little bit. The young guys, they got to, especially young receivers, we got to be way more consistent. A lot of drops, a lot of bad route decisions, run the wrong route. So we gotta get better in that area. But I felt like the line for the most part held up pretty good, which was good to see.
So they're reporting now that he met with a lot of those young receivers today to talk about the problems. Here's the deal. In my view, you cannot lose a guy like Davante Adams or Tyreek Hill and not have blood on the floor. I am telling you, both of these teams, they've talked big about, like Andy Reid said the other day, this provides the perfect opportunity to give us more juice on offense. I'm like, well, what? What? You lose Tyreek Hill, you give him up, and you're going to have more juice on offense? You're high. Secondly, you do not lose Davante Adams without having to clean off the knife and get some bleach out. I mean, there's blood all over the carpet, all over the room, splatter on the walls. They will never replace him in Green Bay. Now, if there is not fallout in Kansas City and Green Bay for those two guys leaving, I will literally keel over. Honestly, you've already heard me say over and over, I am not buying them like everybody else. It is so funny to me how you can watch them get their ass beat in a snowstorm at Lambeau Field in the playoffs by a team from California, for Christ's sakes, freezing their ass off, kicking their ass. And then you're going to put them in the Super Bowl the next year just because Aaron Rodgers is finally getting along with Gutekunst and he got his way and he lost Devontae Adams and you people are crowning them again, just putting them right in the Super Bowl. This guy won 12 years ago and everyone knobs him like he was Brad Pitt. It is unbelievable to me how everyone just puts this guy in a Super Bowl every year. There's a little thing called he never plays in it anymore, ever. There's new blood coming. Trust me, it's coming this year. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in every Super Bowl. That's all they ever talk about. I mean, we might as well just stop talking about the NFL if all you're going to do is crown these two every single effing year.
This is the price you pay. You're going to have to try to work in a couple of inexperienced rookie wide receivers if you're looking to keep the offense output. Good players, but they're rookies.
I pray to God.
Good players, but
I
they're rookies.
pray to God in heaven above that they suck. I want to watch them suffer. You said it best yesterday, for Christ's sakes. You said for 30 years they've been winning with Favre and this guy. So it's about time something happens when you give up a guy like Adams. Don't tell me you're not going to pay the price. Alan Lazard and this kid Watson.
Listen.
I mean, they have this guy Watson out of North Dakota State. They're already making his bust in Canton. I mean, they have literally talked about how they showed highlights of him today catching a pass. Like, I saw it 35 times on ESPN. Like, what is he, John Stallworth? I mean, give me a break, for Christ's sake. I am not buying some rookie from North Dakota State taking the Packers to the Super Bowl. Everyone can kiss my ass. I'm done with it. Done with it. I am done.
NFC North division prop boat for you today, like we did yesterday with the AFC East. Here it is, division finishing position. Now, I'm going to give you the important ones that I know you're going to be on. Vikings to be the winner at plus 250 on that chart. I know you like that. Packers to finish second at plus 190. That's not too bad on the chart either. How about the Lions to finish third at plus 160 and the Bears to finish last at minus 125? There you go.
Listen, from your mouth to God's ears, exactly what you just rattled off. And I can't stand any of those teams, but I pray every night on my knees before I go to bed. Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears. And all four of those tickets pay me a fat dime. Let's go.
And now we're going to put them together like we did yesterday with the Bills and the Dolphins. The straight forecast, first and second place. Bottom right corner, Scotty. Vikings first, Packers second, plus 300 at the Lion right there, BetMGM. Plus 300. Vikings first, Packers second.
Listen, I got to tell you, every time I hear that plus 300, I think of my 300 grand I lost with Embiid. I don't like that 300 number. 300 to me is just, I don't know what it is.
There's a few less zeros. Zeros.
I will absolutely flip the F out this year on this network if the Vikings somehow are good. They got all the talent in the world, and they finally got rid of that defensive hack Zimmer. I mean, that's what he was, right? Zimmer was there all these years, and what did they do? You know, besides absolutely nothing.
Nothing. And now they've got another wonder kid with an offensive mind in O'Connell.
A genius.
We'll see.
He's a genius.
Another genius from the Sean McVay tree. He's 38 years old. He's already got a tree in the NFL. It's pretty amazing. Injuries at camps today, Scotty. They never stop during the month of August. The Chiefs, who you were just talking about, there's going to be blood on the ground. Mecole Hardman carted off at practice, being evaluated for a groin injury. He's supposed to be the new speed guy with Hill gone. It's supposed to be Hardman. Groin issue, not good. Chargers give safety Derwin James a 4-year, $76 million extension. Becomes the top-paid safety ever, considering he never plays and he's always hurt. That's pretty good, Scotty, to become the top-paid safety ever with all the time that he's missed since he's come into the league. Joe Burrow was back at practice today, not worried about his contract extension. I'll have Joe for you tomorrow on Coast to Coast since he talked today.
He wears fur coats better than Joe Namath.
Yes.
Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
They play less games.
The early line.
Take a look at the top 4 seeds here in the Big Ten. They're going to play
Aaron
less.
Rodgers and
the morning
Russell
after.
Wilson. We saw movement in the marketplace like
Fantasy sports
the
today.
Cleveland Cavaliers are a little thin as well.
Newswire.
Minus 160 favorite on the money line today for Arizona.
Pharrell coast to
PBG,
coast.
that's where they win cups. They win Stanley Cups over there. Give me the
Game
Penguins.
time
kind
decisions.
of bizarre when you consider everybody is out for the Warriors.
In-game live,
I
all
like
access.
I like Vandy against Bama. I think Vandy could win the game, take a 4.5.
In-game live, prime time.
The PGA champion.
In-game live,
All
overtime.
done before the final bet.
Get the winning edge. Only on Sports Grid. The early line.
Fernando Tatis Jr. gets the 80-game suspension. He'll miss the remainder of this season, the playoffs this year, if the Padres do make it in, and the start of next year. But my favorite part about these stories always is the cover-up. We love when athletes come out and say, my bad, I made a mistake. I'll learn from it and move on. Don't use the old ringworm haircut. Stop the madness here. Enough with that.
Only on Sports Grid. Pharrell coast to
To
coast.
PEDs intentionally, and people are still going to watch baseball the rest of the year and in the playoffs and the World Series. And then next year, when everyone's kissing his ass, all of us won't kiss his ass because we know he's a user. The guy took PEDs. That's how he got all of his big fancy numbers, and that's how he got that big, fat, guaranteed 14-year, $340 million.
The Sports Grid Network.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow into the $1.3 trillion business of sports with your daily numbers game. Serena Williams, a neighbor, Palm Beach County resident, but more important, 23 Grand Slams. She's 40, but she has transcended the sport. Much the same as Tiger Woods did in golf, but maybe differently. Her next step is in fashion and business. Tiger in golf, but who knows? I mean, they're way above the fray like a Michael Jordan. Bottom line is she has done the ability to do anything she wants to do, and stepping away after the U.S. Open, not going to be easy. Her first round match on the first Monday night of the tournament, I'll be there. That will be a tremendous ticket. As well, if she gets to the quarters and her sister plays well, they may play in the quarters. What a match. But let's not focus on one match. Let's focus on the business of tennis and how Serena and Venus certainly transcended.
Welcome, right? We got stories today of guys coming back from COVID and guys exiting because of COVID. Where do we begin here? With Kirk Cousins?
We certainly do. The Vikings get Kirk Cousins back at practice after he had missed the last couple of days with the Hanta, just in time for their joint practices with the 49ers. So Cousins back on the field. Yesterday, you spoke with Adam Kaplan, and we did as well, about the fights at the Patriot-Panther joint practices up in New England. Well, they were at it again today, Scotty. Christian McCaffrey was involved. Guys just throwing haymakers all over the place. I mean, that's been a real productive 2 days up there in Foxborough between the Patriots and the Panthers. They've gotten a lot done.
I mean, what are you doing with McCaffrey in the middle of a fight and some guy ends up blowing out some chick's ankle? Some fan on the sideline got injured, and they offered her medical help. She didn't take it, but she was all banged up, allegedly. But I don't really care about that. I care about McCaffrey. What is this guy doing in the middle of a fight in two-a-days, whatever you call it, joint practices? And for 2 days now, these teams, and I really can't explain it. You're telling me Belichick and Rule can't keep these guys under control? There's been 2 huge brawls. 3. There were 2 yesterday, 1 today that everybody's talking about. This guy, McCaffrey, I'm starting to wonder if he's stupid. because I know how popular he is with everyone and how pretty he is and all the girls love him. Whatever. He's off the market, ladies. You lose. And here's the deal. The guy gets injured now with the wind blows. So why is he in the middle of some violent fight, or even, for me, why is he running the ball in practices against the Panthers at all? Not only do I not let this guy play in preseason games, I don't let him run the ball at practice either against his own team, let alone another team. It's stupid. You are asking for this guy to get injured again. He literally is peanut brittle, and you know it.
He is absolutely one of those players that should be at the top of the bubble wrap list. Like, just absolute, can't go near the guy. You're not allowed to touch him. He is complete bubble wrap. The Bears and the Seahawks will play tomorrow night, Scotty, to open week 2 of the preseason. Drew Lock was supposed to start the game for the Seahawks. Pete Carroll had announced yesterday morning. Here's the problem. Drew's not going to be there because he's checked in for the Honta now. So Drew was going to get his chance to lead the Seahawks like Geno Smith did last week. Now Geno gets to go again. So Geno will get a second crack at running the Seahawks tomorrow night against the Bears at home. Look, Geno was allegedly leading the quarterback battle to begin with, Scotty, but that ain't going to help Drew none. Bad timing for him to get the Honta because, now he's got one game left next week. That's it. That's all he got to show on tape.
I mean, all signs are pointing to them being terrible.
Yes, all signs are pointing to them being really, really bad. And so are the Bears. Last week we checked in with new head coach Matt Eberflus about the Roquan Smith situation. Doesn't sound like much has changed. In fact, even though Roquan doesn't practice, Scotty, Matt's going to make him get on that plane to Seattle today and make sure that he goes, even though it doesn't sound like he's going to play because he doesn't want to. Here's Eberflus.
You obviously know we haven't been able to talk with Roquan since he's been here. Has there been any progress made?
He looks like he's had a few too many.
Coming down the bridge.
Yeah, obviously I knew that question would come up, and really I don't have anything. All I can say is that it is where it is right now, and we're day to day. Is he in the building? Yes. Is he engaged? Yes. And the next thing I would say that when he practices, and I'm not going to say when that is, when he does, he will be made available to the media, is what I understand.
Is he traveling to Seattle?
Yes.
Listen, can you believe that this guy has had this job for 5 minutes, and the minute he got this job, he's got this nightmare headache, and it's like he looks like Mike Ditka after 10 years of it in Chicago. The guy looks hungover from just going to his job. He's brand new. He's in his diapers as a head coach, and they abuse him every day about the same thing. You know what they should do? I mean, let's just get real here. Just get rid of him. Just trade him. He's a really good player. They could get massive, at the very least, a couple of picks for him, or a player and a pick. You can't tell me that Smith doesn't have a market. And if he doesn't want to play in Chicago, then get the F out. I don't understand why they continue to let players hold them hostage and run the asylum. I'm not having it. You know what it is? They have had the weakest front office in the NFL over the last 7 or 8 years. Pace, Nagy, it's the same thing going on over and over. It's like rain in Chicago. It just rain turns to snow. This guy looks like somebody's been beating him with a wiffle ball bat.
It's not going to be a good scene for Matt this year. And I guarantee you he won't be long for that job in Chicago either. We'll go to Kyle Shanahan next. Been very impressed with Trey Lance so far in preseason and the offseason with his work ethic, Scotty. Here's your boy, Kyle.
How impressive has he been in his maturity and professionalism?
It's what we've expected. So I'm not going to sit there and, that's what you expect. And
they're forcing him to wear that hat.
That's why we wanted him. And he's been how we expected. And I think when you're like that and you have the skill set and you can keep stacking days together, it's a matter of time before you get to a certain level.
You know, everyone's like complaining at jobs, and there's all the rules they have at jobs people don't like. This guy was crying the other day about the hat they made him take off his head. He's not allowed to wear this hat. And now they're making him wear this new hat. And you can see he wore it today in total protest. He had it on all over his face, all over his eyes. And it's just every day I hear about this guy, Trey Lance, like he was Joe Montana. I mean, they've already put this kid in the Super Bowl too, like Aaron Rodgers.
Sure have.
I mean, he's going right to the Super Bowl. I mean, how many people? We had Joe Pisapia today telling you this is the best player in the NFL. I mean, it is just unbelievable to me that it's just he's played like 2 snaps in the NFL and now he's going straight to the Super Bowl in Glendale. I mean, calm down. Like, can we at least let the kid play 2 or 3 games in a row?
We cannot do that. You know that. This is the NFL. Let's hear from John Harbaugh of the Ravens. He says that Lamar is not going to play in the next preseason game. Let's be honest. He's not going to play in any preseason game. You know that, and I know that. But John, rocking the Oriole hat, Scotty, even though they got racked late in the game by the Blue Jays today. And he likes to use very big words at his press conferences. Let's check in with John.
It'll be the same for some guys and more for other guys. I can tell you that. And you could probably extrapolate some of the guys who they are. I always like the word extrapolate. I'm not sure what it means, but I like it. It sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
There is nothing that really equals he and his brother on this show in regularity. We need him on as much as possible. Although I did want to mention again how much I hate the Ravens.
Yes, we always want to make sure that we say that. Both of them getting ready for big seasons, of course. Preseason week number 2 starts tomorrow night, Scotty. 1 game, Bears in Seattle against the Seahawks. We'll have the numbers for you tomorrow.
What could be worse?
3 games on Friday night, including the Panthers and the Patriots, who hopefully will stop fighting each other. A slew of games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday. And look at this. Get ready for Monday Night Football in the preseason, Scotty. The Falcons and the Jets. Could it be any worse on Monday night with those 2 teams taking each other on?
Well, I know on Carver and Lisa you're going to get a lot of Mike White. It's just going to be fabulous for you guys to break down his game.
Can't wait. Really can't. Rookie running back Kenneth Walker expected to have a sizable role in the Seahawk offense. He underwent hernia surgery.
That's
Should
right.
be back for week number 1.
I've had 6 of those, Carver High.
Not good. Can't have it. Can't have it. The Patriots put Malcolm Butler on the IR, undisclosed injury. Cam Akers has a soft tissue injury, not considered serious. Another guy who is always hurt is Cam Akers for the LA Rams. All right, we will finish with the golf today, Scotty. The BMW Championship, the final 70 in the FedEx Cup playoffs, round 2 in Delaware. That's right. They're in Delaware. Here's Dubsy to break it down.
He's better in the tournament.
It's the BMW Championship this week for the PGA Tour, the penultimate stop for the FedEx Cup playoffs. Only 70 golfers in the field this week with no cut, and of course the final 30 in the standings will advance to next week's Tour Championship over there at East Lake, where the winner will take home $18 million. With Willie Z getting the win last Sunday, he now sits up top of the FedEx Cup standings, but plenty of big names looking for the bounce back this week. Scotty Scheffler, Roy McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, and of course Cameron Smith will not be in the field this week, pulling out due to injury. At least that's what he's telling us. What about the golf course? Wilmington Country Club. We're going to play the South Course. It's a Robert Trent Jones Sr. design, par 71, but it's over 7,500 yards. This is the first time we've stopped here for the BMW Championship. Long golf course. You've got to move the ball both ways. Really thick, rough, tree-lined fairways. The key stats I'm looking at: strokes gained off the tee. You need to be a good driver of the golf ball this week. Have that distance, but also have that accuracy and factor in strokes gained on approach. The good iron players will come to the top of this leaderboard by Sunday. And again, I'm not going towards any of the bubble boys this week. You don't need that extra pressure of trying to have a good finish just to keep your season alive. So we're going to stay towards the top of the board. Another big name takes this one out. It's the BMW Championship. We're looking for a Ferrari. Stick with that pedigree, and maybe one of the big names who's been sneaking under the radar. A Paddy Cantlay, a John Rahm, a Colin Morikawa. Just saying, go and get those tickets in. It's the BMW Championship.
My man. All right, Carver High, give me the sheet of integrity.
Here we go. Of course, the favorite is Rory McIlroy. There's a lot of chalk. All the big names are right there at the top for you. Rahm, Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, JT, Finau, Scheffler, and Willie Z. What are we doing, Scotty? Out of all those guys at the top, we're going with Rahm this week at 12-1. I thought he finished really strong last week, and he's going to be in the mix here. Who else do we like? How about Cameron Forever Young? Willie Z got his first win last week. Maybe Cam Young gets his first win this week with how good of a year he's had. We like Mr. Burns at 22-1. 22-1. Let's go a little deeper. Corey Connors at 45-1. Max Homa at 50-1. And our big bomb of the week. Only 68 guys out there, Scotty, but we found one. 110-1. HV3. Harold Varner the third. We'll take him with the deep bomb in Delaware this week for the BMW Championship.
What up, kid?
Get very excited. And Patrick Reed files a defamation lawsuit against Brandel Chambly in the Golf Channel. Patrick Reed doesn't like being called a cheater because he went to Live Golf. He doesn't like that.
And I also think that, Brandel Chambly is the male organ of the month club. This guy, is there anything worse? People call me a shock jock. Is there anything worse than having a shock jock golf analyst? The guy that tries to say all the shocking things about golf. Bro, you are a femme. Put a skirt on. Honestly, no one cares about shock golf news.
No,
okay? Thanks.
Nobody cares.
I want to par and birdie. I want to win bets. That guy, I want to punch that dude in the face.
Tomorrow on Coast to Coast, I will give you the SEC over-unders that I promised you yesterday. We'll talk about Mike Gundy. A bunch of suits met today. College Football Board of Managers. I'm so sick of these suits. Call me when you guys actually take over or change the playoff. I'm tired of their Zoom meetings, their crack crab and lobster. Enough of it. Go and get the playoff to 12 teams and call me when it happens.
They want to throw college football out of college sports.
Yeah, shut up. Suits. That's what they are. Suits.
Your heart's racing. The clock's running out. It all comes down to this. We're talking pregame. Pregame. Get locked in with Game Time Decisions. Your hosts, Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart, will get you ready for game time. Everything you need to know before a game goes off the board, with the bet slips to back it up. Make your best bet with live odds updates, late breaking news, up-to-the-minute injury reports, and real-time analytics from inside the sportsbooks. All the odds, all the action, from sports wagering insiders and industry pros like Donnie Rightside, Cam Lou, Cousin Sal, the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow, and more. Get the winning edge every weekday afternoon from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 3 to 4 Pacific. It's Game Time Decisions. Only on Sports Grid.
You might be the next daily fantasy millionaire. No matter what you watch or where you play, learn from the world's best DFS players. Lineup building tools, expert projections, and advanced stats change the way you play the game. Dominate the competition. DailyRoto.com, the player's choice.
The morning after.
LSU has the same odds to win the SEC at 100-1 as they do to win a national championship, also 100-1.
Well, I'll say this. There are going to be a lot of really bad takes about year one head coaches and a lot of people jumping to conclusions because there are 8 programs who have played in a national championship in the 21st century who have a first-year head coach. That includes Virginia Tech because technically they played in a national championship in the first week.
The Sports Grid Network. Fantasy Sports Today.
Definitely a starter in every fantasy football league. He's a top 12 quarterback in fantasy, but no longer the thought process where I guess he could be a number 2, the second overall quarterback or the third. Remember in years past, he was being drafted right after the first couple of quarterbacks, but no longer the case. He's kind of like a consolation prize as opposed to the main starter for a lot of people.
The Sports Grid Network. Ferrall, Coast to Coast.
I don't care if they play this game in Puerto Rico. I mean, the bottom line is, it doesn't matter Seattle or Anaheim. Robbie Ray's stuff has been beautiful all season long. He's gotten stronger. He's led the majors in innings, the last 2-3 years. The guy's an inning eater. He's going to go out and do his job. He's going to go out and get into the 7th inning tonight. and he's going to strike out and go over. He's going to get another 9 or 10 tonight.
The Sports Grid Network.
It's a fast forward for all of your facial, the Ferrall finish. There is nothing better for me than mafia family stories. Mafia, stay out of this. The crime families are alive and well in New York. Nassau detective among 9 indicted in a mafia gambling operation hidden in Long Island and Queens businesses. Let's just focus on Long Island for a second. They were running it out of a coffee shop, a shoe store. Tell them, Carver High, what's going on out where you live.
The coffee shop is about 5 minutes away from where my father's garage was in the East Rockaway, Lynbrook area. And I've driven by that coffee shop at least 9,000 times in my life. And about half of those times, there was always people sitting outside of it. And yes, it did look like something out of an episode of The Sopranos. Like, that's what it looked like outside of that coffee shop. The shoe shop in Merrick is 5 minutes from where I live now. It's down the block from where I live, so I know these places in this story very well.
And every single one of them has the most remarkable nicknames you've ever heard of your life. All these mobsters have nicknames, and they are glorious.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the story today. It was the best thing that happened to me all day. I love mafia stories. Stay out of this, mafia. I'm not talking about your family. Go ahead. Lomachenko and Jermaine Ortiz. Who? They're going to fight, and no one cares. Mike Tyson spotted in Miami at the airport being wheeled around in a wheelchair with a cane. What is going on there? Man discovers rare purple pearl in his $14 clam appetizer at a Rehoboth Beach restaurant. I don't know how much it's worth. 88-year-old woman killed in her garden, eaten alive by an alligator. She's out picking tomatoes, and she got crept up on by the gator, and he meant business. Dr. Ricardo Cruciani found dead in Rikers in the shower after his conviction for sexually assaulting patients. They said he hung himself. Yeah, that's the way it looked. But he got bent over real fast at Rikers. They found him all curled up. What a lovely thought. Game Time Decisions is next. Everyone stay safe, especially out on Strong Island. See you tomorrow on Coast to Coast.